Welcome back, guys, to my channel. Let's get right into these situationship files.
How to deal with a person that wants to throw around the love word, be all soft and gentle when they want it, but when it's time for you to be soft and gentle, they don't want to return the same sentiments and the effort. But it's a small world, and this is some tea right now, because I came here with a genuine heart only to see the guy that I'm fucking and just fucked last week is here with his homeboy and two females.
You didn't acquire where he was gonna be at tonight though, right?
So we've been going back and forth, and I've been on no contact because of the response that he gave at work. He was like, I'm gonna go on a detox where I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna have sex, none of that. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I had a conversation because it was just like, you got what you wanted. Now you trying to dip. I'm in my sensitive element right now where I'm soft like butter, and now you wanna be a dick and say that you wanna skillfully change the conversation when I'm being soft. Yeah. So when I said what I said, he sent back a long generic message saying, oh, I'm afraid to do this or that, and we are in a better place. And I just didn't find it genuine. I know him, I know his heart, but it was just like, it was a repetitive pattern. And sometimes when you go back and forth with a person, you know that you're gonna have your ups and downs and toxic situations, situationships, all of that. But it's just how much more you gonna take from that. I know I'm a good woman.
So
I bring a lot to the table.
Let me ask you this question. First of all, I bet that nigga's sweating right now.
Oh, he is.
I bet that nigga is sweating.
Just praying for me not to call his name.
All right, now
Going on me, Lord.
Now, but for clarification, you guys wasn't in an official relationship.
No, not an official relationship.
And for the last few days, y'all haven't been communicating.
No.
All right. So my question to the panel is, given this situation, my man can date.
He can date whoever he want to date. But let's talk about the real conversation needs to be had. The real conversation is she feels taken advantage of and she feels used.
Yep.
And as a woman, as a black woman, it's very hard for us to even find a way to get into that soft era, to find the energy to be feminine and soft.
Exactly.
Because most of us by default then had to be in survival mode for so fucking long that going into soft mode take work. Like being able to break out of that exterior shell, that take a lot of work. So for you to have done that work and giving yourself to someone that you felt like was deserving of that, only to have that thrown in your face, is a slap in the face.
It is.
Let's leave that. Now I'm gonna leave that there, but you gotta hold your own bullshit for a second. Cause you had no business fucking a nigga that you know wasn't for you, and you know where your heart at for him. You know you give a fuck about him because she knows. You know you care about this man, right?
Hold on, though. But
Exactly.
You said, hold on. You said throwing around the love word. Did he throw the word love around?
Yep.
He took advantage of her.
So
You hoe ass nigga.
Hold on.
Wherever you hoe ass nigga.
Treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad.
You a hoe.
All right, hold on. Let's back it up.
You know?
Better than me.
So
You better than me, sis.
So I think hold on. The crux of the conversation is this.
Because
We have admitted, we all have said, since they wasn't in an official relationship, there is no obligation that, unless he purposely knew she was gonna be here, he is within his right to be dating, right? So hold on, hear me out. Just from that sense, we can establish that.
Yes.
The argument right now, though, is how the fuck the sequence happened. Like, if you're being lovey-dovey and you're being available and you're doing all these things to get the draws, then once you do a complete 180.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's nigga.
Fontaine?
that's fucked up.
Yes, it's fucked up, but we also got to talk about like what it is and why, if it ever happens again, you should run. Love bombing is a very unhealthy thing. And if a person is throwing the word love at you before y'all even in a relationship, before y'all done put some structure between the two of y'all, that's love bombing. And you should be very afraid of that, because there's never a healthy cause behind why someone is just throwing the word love at you without bringing proof with it. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible that it worked. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm happy that a person took advantage of your vulnerability, but you also have to understand, with vulnerability has to come protection. The more you are willing to open your heart, the more vigilant you have to be about when, where, why, and how you open it. You feel me? So if you've come into this space where you ready to receive folks and you ready to move outside of survival mode, you have to be on alert of people who willing to take advantage of that. And a person that I'm not trying to say this in an inflammatory way. I'm saying this in a way that you can kind of give you a space to improve in, I guess. If love, the word, was able to get you that far off your square to where he was able to sleep with you, then you're not protecting yourself. This newfound vulnerability you have, you're not protecting it, okay? Because the word love should not be enough to gain access to these new vulnerable spaces. You had to do a whole lot more than say you loved yourself to gain access to those vulnerable spaces within yourself. And so a person just saying that they love you shouldn't be a key to anything. You feel me? So just look out for motherfuckers, you feel me? Especially people who start hurling things at you that they can't prove.
Hold on.
And I'll say this.
Give me 2 seconds. My only pushback to that is, oftentimes these people know that using that word love is manipulation. And if they're willing to do that, they're also willing to manipulate you with their actions. People will pretend to be something that they're not. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't wait long enough to be able to vet whether or not this person is actually authentic. But when part of that love bombing is being sweet, sending messages, bringing flowers, doing things to convince that. And then here's the thing. Let's be honest, brothers. We know how women, when their girls are marketed to. The movies, the images, finding romance. And honestly, that becomes part of society's definition and grading system on a woman, is her ability to get and keep a man. And so a lot of men will play on that. So to finally meet a man that's checking all those boxes and now he's saying he loves you too, I can understand why somebody would open up to that man. Not literally, but I was talking from a physical, a metaphorical sense.
And literally.
But I can understand that. And so what I'm saying is, this is what I know about men. And I don't know this man personally, so I'm not calling him toxic. So I'm gonna speak to toxic men.
You're not calling this nigga toxic.
No, hold on, hear me out. Just hear me out. What I'm saying is, if I've been maybe toxic or had narcissistic traits or been a love bomb, all these things, if I've been this person for all of my life, I've learned that if I present that up front, it's gonna make you run. So what I've learned is how to hide behind the facade of a good man long enough to get what I want. And when I get what I want, I no longer have a motivation to pretend no more. And so then what I do is I send you a message because I wanna let you down easy, and then I come to a podcast to play the trick on a different girl, a different time. And respectfully, I'm not talking about that guy, whoever he is.
Nigga, this
and wherever
for you.
you at, come to my table. I'll give you a refund for your ticket.
This for you. No,
I'm
nigga, we
sure
charging
you're
you
not having
double.
a good time.
No.
But this is what
refund.
Hold on. You said this is what I know
That nigga
about
enjoying
men.
the show.
Right.
This is what I know about women. Oftentimes, we're with a guy and he's showing up and saying all the good things and doing all the good things, and we don't want to apply the pressure of, well, what are we? Are you talking to anybody else? We don't want to ask those questions because we feel like we're going to push him away. And so what you may have actually done, although you liked him and in your mind you felt like this was going somewhere, the fact that he then ghosted you because you said you ain't talked to him the last 2 days, is because you felt like you couldn't apply the pressure to be like, well, what are we? But also, you didn't feel like you were in a safe space to tell this man that you actually were feeling a little something, because maybe y'all started out not serious. Then you like, damn, I like this nigga. And he telling me he love me. Ooh, this the one. You telling all your homegirls, he done moved on to the next one. But it's because you fear of pushing him away by just actually being vulnerable. You think you're vulnerable, but you're not. You ain't tell that man how you really felt.
Oh, I tell him all the time, but To add insult to injury, when I
that nigga
came
playing
walking up
games.
here, he was walking with his homeboys with his drinks for him and the girls and said, "Don't act like that. Don't worry about it. It's nothing."
Oh, it's some Orlando shit.
So to the girl that's with him,
Sis keep looking that way.
Why they all looking
This
this
what y'all
way?
Please,
Hold-
This what y'all
cameraman.
wanted. Y'all wanted this.
Cameraman.
This is.
Hold
Sis keep looking that
Hold
way.
on. Whoa.
This is not a safe
I'm
space.
gonna tell you something. I get it, right?
Y'all done knocked
I
my man
understand what
whole
everybody's
groove
saying. Maybe you wasn't vulnerable.
Girls,
Maybe you didn't do A, B, C, and D. But let me tell you something.
Block his
Maybe
number,
that
girl.
nigga just a pathetic ass nigga. Maybe that nigga ain't got no motion and can't be alone, which is why he need to be with every bitch at every time. Because I get the whole like you weren't vulnerable enough. But a lot of these niggas
I'm
can't.
always vulnerable. I tell him my heart since we first started talking back in 2021.
What is 2021?
Oh, he's a Scorpio.
2021.
Stop wasting your time, baby.
See, that's
Stop
the,
wasting your
like
time.
I said, that was
Love
the
a good
problem.
Scorpio, bro.
Love the word
listen, at
and not
this
the
point-
action.
Let's go.
3
Hold on.
years.
You know what? Let me speak to everybody. Look to your left and right. Say,
2021 is crazy.
all right, look.
2021.
Here's and you said.
2021.
Hold on. You said this nigga told you at work. So you work with this nigga?
Yeah.
Oh, so you the work wife?
Oh, you
You the work wife?
Girl, you better stop bringing that casserole to work,
Monday is gonna
bitch.
be a motherfucker.
That's great.
Monday is gonna be a motherfucker.
Sis, what's his first last
I'ma
name?
go
I
ahead and
promise that
call
nigga
out.
won't have a job.
Don't say
HR.
that. No, don't say that.
Don't do
say
it.
that.
Don't do it. Don't do
No,
it.
don't
Don't
say
do
that.
it.
Don't
Don't
say
do
that.
it.
Go.
Don't do it.
Turn
Don't
her
do
mic
it.
off.
Y'all
Don't
better
do
than me.
it.
Turn her mic
Y'all
on.
better than me. I don't give a fuck.
Come get your friend.
All right, hold on. Whoa.
Come get
Okay.
your friend.
Okay, hold on. Everybody sit down. I want to speak to something you said because I think this is vitally important, and I think you even said it too. But since she gave context, I'm not saying it fits her scenario, and we get back to her scenario. Because 2 years, that's wild. Because I thought you were talking about something that's recent. 3 years, that's wild. And the reason I say that is wild. Because oftentimes in the beginning of a dating relationship or something like that, sometimes we do invest things we shouldn't. And we get mad because we invested something expecting a result and we shouldn't have done that. Sometimes we need to give out of our surplus that if we lose this, it ain't gonna really hurt our, you know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about 2 or 3 years, you building. But I gotta ask you, I'm not gonna ask you this question because I don't want you to spill no more tea. What's up?
I have a question in real life because this might change my whole perspective of this shit. Did you start off as a work wife?
No, we started off as friends, but we worked together, so it just
Alright,
built.
so y'all was working together and y'all had a friendship?
We built a foundation, so it's not like it was a.
But that foundation came about because of y'all proximity at work. If y'all were
Correct.
not in work with each other,
It probably wouldn't have been.
So you started as a work wife. Yeah, that's not gonna ever be nothing, baby. Let that nigga go.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Let that nigga go.
Thank you for your. Hold on.
Let's just
Hold on.
a few moments of silence for the bitch that's with him, right? They don't know. They don't know that he a loser. A few moments of silence for that woman.
I'm gonna say this, and I want to end this conversation with this note.
Okay.
I listen. This shit is tough. It's tough. But what I don't want you to do is leave this night and don't have your resolve to not go back and not entertain. The reason why I say that, there's so many times people see shit like this, get mad for a few days, and then you back in that cycle. What you know, and now that you know, don't go back. Now listen, I can't get back that time you wasted with that man, but what you can do right now is not waste any more time. And then I wanna warn the ladies that are in here and the fellas about these extended situationships, because it really gets us fucked up, because we be in relationship purgatory, right? And we get comfortable there because we think we going to heaven. We found out sometimes you can go to hell. And so my point is, don't be afraid to define things. Don't be afraid to seek clarity. Don't be afraid to hold somebody and say, hey, listen, I feel like we're here, this is what I'm looking for. If you're not ready for a commitment, cool, but I gotta slide. Or if we dating other people, cool, let me know so I can open up my options. But what ended up happening is you ended up being a girlfriend to a single man. Because to be honest, it would be nice to think that he just met that girl yesterday. But probably he has been entertaining this woman for a little bit of time. And probably the reason he texting you talking about he's changing and doing this and another was because now he want to give his energy to this woman. So my point is, just be careful going forward, all right? Thank you for your question.
To love yourself is better than waiting to be loved by someone else.